Uh, Welcome, hello, and welcome to all that will be attending and listening to this very unique stream. As you know, I am Chaos Rain here, Chaos, and today, for the title for this particular stream, I'll call this Spicy Latina. Can the Spicy Latina use the N word to black people, black male especially? Now, before I run this clip here and give my take on it, if you're new to Chaos Range channel, please hit the red button, the top bell, ding, so you know you get the uploads and live streams from Chaos Range channel. You can also follow me on Twitter at Chaos Range 7, and you can now be friends on Facebook. Title Eric Rain on Facebook. They will be in the description of this stream. Now, why is it that I find very intriguing when it comes to black folks that we use the word Negro or nigga very loosely in our communities? I think if I could speak for myself that I never did use the word nigga for some time now. And I think I've never used it up to my younger days and up to my adult age, up to a point for the last maybe 13, 14 years, maybe a little shorter, maybe for the past 10, 11 years. I can't recall when I got comfortable using the word nigga. My thing is this. Because we as people, we own and hone the word nigga, I would say it is a culture, it's a natural custom through the language to us black folks. And we never really had a conversation as a collective as a whole. Are we going to really stop using the N-word? In my opinion, I don't see it happening, and I don't see no purpose right now. But let's say if we want to entertain that conversation, it should be the decision between black people in the group, the tribe, wherever they are in America or outside America, that use it loosely or call themselves Negro or nigga and other language. That's this decision we will have to make as a collective, as people, as a whole, to stop using the word nigga. And like I said, since this is a normal language and customs throughout this Western culture, especially when it comes to us Americans, and other language of other black people across America or outside America, we're not going to stop using it. So, in my opinion. But anyway. But the video I'm going to play, which will be, and then I will put the title when I find it, yeah. It is, a debate between the one Donavan Sharpe, which is another not only YouTuber but also an expert in women's psychology in regards to the dating aspect of the games women play psychologically. Because, as you know, he's in a relationship, an interracial relationship with a non-black woman. But throughout his 44 years, because Donavan Sharpe is born in 1977, and his birthday passed like a week ago. He's a Leo. Shout out to all Leos. He has done extensive work and experience through trial and error and banging a lot of these women, non-black women especially. And he has concluded and wrote 3 books, particularly some PDF form, that explains and how you get into the psychology of what women think and what they're saying. So like always, if you want to find more of Donavan Sharpe's work, you can find him on YouTube. I think the books that he wrote are Womanese, Volume 1 and 3. So, this is a free promo, but y'all can look him up for himself. The back and forth he has gone, it was, I'm going to clear myself. The discussion and dialogue he had going back and forth is one particular Latina woman or Latina female from the Bronx, one named Jenny from the block, which you'll see on the TV screen on your right side. They had a really interesting conversation, and I can't go into detail of the conversation. I think I'll play it for let you hear for yourself. And I will give my take on things. And like always, for this particular stream, we will use, and we call it fair use. So let us begin.
All right, let's get your man Donavan Sharpe up in the house. Let's get Donavan.
What's up, guys?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I live streamed for 5 hours, so it looks like you're gonna top me on the live stream today. But
yeah, so what do you think about all this? Now I know you have a relationship. You've been on the.
I'm not going to comment on either one because I have tremendous respect for both groups. So I'm gonna stay out of that.
Okay.
With all due respect, I know this is what you guys are talking about, but I'm gonna stay out of that. My main contention is here with Jen, and the thing is, man, is Jen believes that what she's saying is true. You strap her to a lie detector test, it's absolutely true, but that doesn't mean that you're right. See, here's the deal, right? Of course, you're not worried about paying for the date. You can get the D anytime you want, right? You understand what I'm saying there? And so when a man and woman get together romantically, when there's romantic interest, supposed romantic interest involved, there's an unspoken agreement that the man is going to provide the resources and the woman is going to provide exclusive access to her body. Now, there are men out here who lead women to believe that they are interested in a long-term relationship when they are just interested in casual sex. These men exist. These men are out there. Guess what, Jen? Women who mislead men by making them believe that they are sexually interested in order to get free meals, gifts, trips, there are far more of them than there are men who deceive women. And I'll tell you this, and I don't blame women for not liking this, but when women do not have a decided advantage in the sexual marketplace, they go absolutely crazy. I'll give you case in point. The Dine and Dash dater, okay? I'll marry this with the foodie call. Foodie call, it's a recent moniker that is placed on women who go out with a man, unbeknownst to the man, that she's not romantically interested in for the express intent of getting a free meal. They're not romantically interested in him. Yet the guy, she doesn't tell the guy. She's not being honest. She said they got to be honest. Well, guess what? These girls are not being honest. So what ends up happening is a guy out in California flipped the script. He started going out with women that he wasn't romantically interested in, and he'd leave them with the check. Now, girls who do foodie calls, there are articles praising women for this brilliant strategy. Oh my God, at the 21st of the month, I download Tinder and I download Tinder because I don't have any more money and I can do this guy and this guy and that guy. Okay, that's what happens. But when a guy does it, you know what happened to him? National ridicule and jail time. So when women enact a sexual strategy that benefits them, nobody bats an eye, right? But God forbid a man actually have an advantage. God forbid a man actually game a woman into getting easy sex out of her by misleading them. I'm not saying that that's right, but in terms of the score, far more women mislead men about their intentions than men do. And even when men try, women are a lot of things, Jen. Stupid isn't one of them. So a guy can come at a girl with all this game. Yeah, I want to marry you and this, that, and the other. Dude, girls know that guy's full of shit. They know he's full of shit. And even still, when they're in category A that you talked about, this is alpha fucks, beta bucks, because you verified that completely, because they see, you know what? I know this guy is running game on me, so I'll go home with him. I'll mess with him for a couple of weeks. Then when he ghosts me, I'll pretend not to realize that he was just running game on me. This is how that goes. This is what's happening. This is what's happening in the real world. And here's the thing, man. I wouldn't expect, and this is no disrespect, Jen. I wouldn't expect you to understand what's going on because you're a man. You don't have male sensibilities, nor should you. Women should never feel sorry for the plight of men and vice versa. But at the end of the day, a man is not entitled to a woman's body any more than a woman is entitled to a man's resources. However, when you deceive one way or the other, when men deceive women to get their body without the chance of a long-term relationship, that's a bad thing. It happens a lot more on the female side.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Before I say something, 1 second.
Have you muted, Jen? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Okay. I just had to pause that. Now, to give a little background, like I said before, Donovan is an expert in this. And what he lays out between men and women is not the same in regards when women, and y'all heard the term, women are seeking and going out dates with men for free food. This is common. This is normal in this so-called Western culture. And the consequence of this for most men, because a man's time is very valuable, they will go on few dates, maybe multiple dates, if given the chance with certain women. I mean certain women. That women will, and it's proven evident, that they have used males for food, for free food. And I forgot the article that revealed this, but women admit they've been doing this. So the thing to understand and know is that this happens. This is expected. And now, as you know, a man that sit there will lie to a woman in regards to getting access to the pants or to the drawers, there is somewhat of a consequence now. Case in point, we all know the Me Too movement, right? How most of these dudes were taking it and take advantage of our women. Now of a black woman, I think her name was Miss Burroughs, that presented herself with some layout plan, and I'm just going to ramble for a little bit. 3 years ago, layout where it created a domino effect where most high class actors, managers, or producers that were sitting there taking advantage for women for the last 30 or more years, now they can have a case to bring up in charge of sexual misconduct, right? They took the pussy or coerced a woman to give her the pussy just to get the access to something like a movie deal, a scene gig, or etc. This really was designed for the people that's on top that was taking advantage of women because they have a sense of power. And now a man that does that in certain ways, like, take advantage of women, there are some consequences. Now, what the consequence a man will face, can't give you the detail, but no one say that a man can't do certain things to take advantage of a woman's body so easily without any repercussions. So let's move on. And I did like when Donovan laid out not only the scenario, but certain evidence in this first segment. So now.
First and foremost, these are all opinions. So I may be wrong. You said I'm not right, right? I don't think you're right either. These are just opinions, right?
Well,
wait, let me finish because I let you speak.
Hold on, real quick.
Let me finish because I let you speak.
Hey, I've listened to you talk. I've listened to you talk for an hour. You want to talk? Hold on.
Well, I didn't know you were backstage,
about facts and opinion.
I didn't know you were backstage, Stevie.
How about you go to articles and see that 30% of women who go out with guys on Tinder do so with no.
Let you be emotional. Go on.
However,
that's facts. That's facts.
That's fact. That's opinion, sweetheart. That's a fact. It is what it is. And and check this out. I don't even blame the girls. If it's that easy to score free meals from clueless guys, baby girl, do you. But by the same token, don't then get upset when a guy runs the gambit on you, uses you for sex for 2 weeks. And see, a girl will fuck over every man she has something to do with. Every man she has something to do with. The minute a man gets over on her, niggas ain't shit. Dudes ain't shit. Now you can go on with your facts.
Okay, first and foremost, I didn't know you were seething watching me for an hour. That's a personal problem that you have. You were seething, dying to get at me, right? So now you're here. So let me speak. Let me speak. Let me speak.
Hold up, Donovan. Let's let Jen speak.
Okay. You were backstage seething. Okay. There's no right or wrong here. You have an opinion. I have an opinion. Men take advantage of women. Fact. Yes. Women take advantage of men. Fact.
Yes.
All right. You're talking about men are supposed to be the financial providers, and that's what they're supposed to do. First of all, Men are constantly preaching 50-50. A man just said if a woman doesn't go Dutch, she's for the street.
Now, I'm not sure. Wait a minute. Keep playing so y'all can hear it.
That's not
okay. A man just said on
hold
his
up,
line.
Donovan. Hold on. Donovan, hold on. Wait, Jen. Hold up. Okay. Donovan, go ahead and let her speak. She let you speak. Let's hear what she has to say.
He's projecting. He's projecting.
Now, as y'all heard, she said something about 50-50 nonsense. See, this is my thing. Because knowing this is a new phenomenon to a lot of ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure where this notion of 50-50 in anything. Now, in the Western world we live in today, because women have rights, expressions, and want an even playing field like men, then yes, you're going to be getting something we call 50-50 because you're in your mind and in this so-called Western culture, you think and believe you're in the same playing field as a man in certain aspects. But we all know women and men are not the same. Period, sweetie. But when I hear this constant, and not only from this little Latina, but I hear some these fucking women, black women, they tell me the dudes they deal with is a 50-50 thing. And I'm going to say 50-50 was not a thing a man create. This is something women goddamn create. Now, any man that talking about 50-50 with you straight off the bat, and we're going to just go there, 9 tenths of the time, he probably doesn't have enough of his own that he has to go what she like to call Dutch on you. And I always find this very ironic, and this is what I've noticed, is women that talk about this, and I look at their mates that they select, whether black or white, and most likely, they're not going to keep it real honest, that usually, when they talk about this even playing field, a woman always keep that in mind because she still wants to have some form of control and power, some form of say in regards to where the relationship's going. So when they talk about 50-50, she's really saying that I gotta still have a say and control of this relationship. You're not gonna hold all power and control in this relationship. So when women talk about it as comfort to them, they'll use that as an excuse to say we going Dutch and 50-50 because they can have the man or the man present himself and say, I'm doing and we're doing 100% of everything. I lead, you follow. And this is a problem with a lot of sisters, and it's a problem with this particular woman on top next to the attorney. So the men that she's fucking and sucking, probably it's cool for you to do 50-50 because you want to have some same power in it. But the dude is on his real game and he really doesn't really need much from you besides ask a question. And normally now, most dudes now ask this question. Some of them that got their stuff together and they really got stuff together, they're really asking what you really bring to the table. It's bothering a lot of women, including this little Spice Latina. So when you listen, fellas, anytime women talk about this 50-50 nonsense, it's code word that I still gotta have a say and control of this relationship if we're gonna be in this relationship. So keep that in mind.
Because he's emotional about
it. Okay, but go ahead, Jen. Go ahead. Okay.
I don't know. I don't care. We've all been through some BS with the opposite sex. If you're a heterosexual person, you've been run through the mill or been had or whatever, or been lied to, whatever. It happens, okay? Women take advantage of men. Men take advantage of women. He just said something. Oh, but when a man gets over, God forbid. What are you talking about? Men get women pregnant and dump them to raise children. Women use men for food. That is the human way with men and women. But it sounds to me more like you didn't want to debate me. You wanted to debate your experiences and you're projecting. And I'm like, I can't help you with that, sir. Okay. And you can address me as Jen. I don't have to be honey, baby, sweetie, boo boo. I don't have to be all of that. Relax. We can have this discussion. Okay. But you're projecting. I've been through things too, like every other woman with a man. I'm not projecting at you. I'm not saying all men are dogs. You just said that. I don't think all men are dogs. I don't think all men are dogs, but you just threw that at me as if that's my point of view. And as far as, oh, you can't speak for a man because you're not a man. I can never speak for a man. You can't speak for a woman, but because we are heterosexual individuals, I can talk about my experience with men and you can talk about your experience with women, but you're coming in too hot. And I didn't do it to you, honey, baby, sweetie, boo-boo. I didn't do it to you. I have my opinions.
I prefer boo-boo, actually.
Okay. Well,
so how do you respond to her, Donovan? What do you think about what she's saying?
Said really quickly.
Yeah.
Jen, you're right. A lot of men, in particular,
Oh, to let y'all know, become listening both ends, so there will be somewhat delayed when I'm responding. So be mindful, guys. Be mindful. All right. But hold on a second. Okay, I'll just respond to what you hear so far. And what you hear is she talked about men, pregnant women, and leave them. And last time I checked, and the men have been saying this for some time now. And they've been saying this for a long time that I can remember. That if you are not married to this man, you allow yourself, if you're going to play with sex, whether the man wears the condom or not, that the chance of impregnation is inevitable. It is what it is. And you should know that if you get knocked up and carry the baby full term, most likely 9/10 of the time, this man, only thing he could do is he could walk off east without paying anything besides the child support, which a lot of dudes don't like, but it is what it is. So if you don't want to be a single parent with children, either two things you do, boo-boo. Either you're going to hope that you wait the man commits the long term, which will lead to marriage with ring in hand. And, I have no problem with a lot of men say that these women should be getting married to the baby daddy. Because if he's going to be and you're going to have fun with him sexually in the bed like that and get your booty clapped and all that stuff and get your throat banged out sexually, I mean, what do you expect? You might as well stay, make a little family, make it work like everything else. But if you're not thinking and moving in that accords, you get pregnant, you put yourself at risk. And the risk is you're going to probably be a single mother. Especially the man that's want nothing to do with you and possibly kids, which I always recommend most fathers. If you and the baby mama have some bad issues and you have sons from this woman, you better take and get full custody of your kids, especially the boys. Now, I can't speak about the daughters. The daughters should stay a little longer, but overall, as they get older, they should be around your care for the remainder of their development in their later years, your children. So that way they get both a masculine and a feminine balance if you're going to play this game. So, let me keep playing. I'm going to try to keep up from my end. Come listen to devices. So, here on this device is not going to be, I'm not going to be able to follow what's listening here. So, be patient. If I say something and it's off from what it's saying onto the TV screen. So, let's continue.
And without a lot of experience, they use their own personal experience as sort of the barometer, right? If they experience something, then everybody did. But here's where you're wrong, honey. Millions of men are telling the same stories, boo-boo. Men are getting divorce raped. Men are being... Listen, you want to say I came in all hot and heavy? You said I'm projecting? Listen.
You are.
Okay, that's fine. You can say whatever you want because that seems to be the boilerplate template for someone who's in their feelings, and that's okay. You're a woman. I'm not mad at you. What I'm telling you is that millions of men didn't just all of a sudden wake up and decide, you know what? We're going to shit on women. We're going to make up all of these grandiose stories about how we get screwed over by women, and we're just going to put it on the internet. No, that's not how it happened. Men found each other because they have similar experiences. A guy in Nebraska says, you know what? My wife started talking trash about a guy that she was working with. Come to find out, she was sleeping with him. A guy in Florida says, you know what? I have the similar situation done to me. Another guy up in, I don't know, Washington says, you know what? I've been married to my wife for 15 years, and I just found out my oldest daughter isn't mine. A guy down in Texas says the same thing happened to me. So in terms of people disagreeing, listen, we can disagree all we want to, but to disqualify it as, hey, these are just your isolated experiences. There are millions of men with millions of the same or similar stories. We all didn't just get up and decide to lie. That's all there is to it. We all have the same experiences. Yes, we've all been burned by women. I've been burned by more women than I care to admit. All I seek to do is to, and I never said that women were dogs. What I said is that women she'll do 100 guys in a row. She'll do them dirty. She'll cheat on them, blah, 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 blah. And here's another thing. Most relationships are ended by the woman, either directly or indirectly. She either says, we need to talk, or she just branch swings to another relationship. When's the last time guy ever broke up with a woman? Maybe if he's a top 10%er. This doesn't mean that women are bad. This is not an indictment on the female species. What I'm trying to tell you is that millions of men didn't just all of a sudden get together and decide to lie on women. So to disqualify one's experiences, well, you experiences, what kind of women are you dating? We're all dating the same pool of women, and they all act the same way. And it is incumbent upon us as men to deal with them accordingly. And that's that. Jen.
Okay, so let me respond. What's your name?
All right. Y'all heard that? And I think why Manosphere was created, because of the experience a lot of men are getting burned by other women. And it's not just a small story from a small segment of men. This has happened on countless different men with similar experience, similar scenarios. And we never understand, is there something correlating, or is just they're in their dreams? You know what I'm saying? So I always think, what is really going on? What is really going on here? You get me? And I'll tell you what's going on. What's going on is there's a game being played. And like Donavan has done, he's trying to reveal the true nature of women to a lot of men, that, you know, you're going to be had and full if you're not careful out here. You got to have your guards up in the best way, not only physically, but financially. So I'm going to let the tape run on as I, let me see. And it's going to get heated. Trust me, people, it's going to get heated.
What's that?
What is your name?
Boo Boo.
His name is Donavan Sharpe. He's an OG. He's an OG in this space. Yeah, Donovan's the man.
Although he's playing Captain Obvious now, right? I never said that it was just your experience, but I guarantee it was your experience. I can tell by how you jumped on here.
That is exactly what you said.
Came in here like a bitch in heat. Okay, so I know it was your experience. So I'm not saying that it was just yours. We're all experiencing the same thing as human beings. Okay, so you're saying, oh, you think men are lying? Men are lying. We just ran into each other. No, you're not lying. Women find women who have been burned. We do it at the beauty shop, at the beauty salon, getting our nails done, at the party, at the tea party. We find each other. Oh, really? That happened to you? Well, a guy did X, Y, and Z to me. That's what human beings do, Captain Obvious. So when men get together, and now with the Manosphere and YouTube, all you guys got together who've been burned and are bitter as hell. And I was like, we have a club. Let's get those women. No shit. No shit, Sherlock. Captain Obvious. That is what happens. You're still not getting my point. Shit happens between men and women. Shit happens. Well, when was the last time a man broke up with a woman? Women break up with men. Shit happens. Men get women pregnant and bounce and don't take care of the children. Shit happens. Why are you so upset?
Nobody's upset. I'm just very passionate about what I talk about. And also, look, I'm an intense guy. I don't know that you know this, but you found that out.
I don't care. I don't care that you're intense. I think it's silly, but carry on.
Boo Boo, you talk. Now it's time for me to talk, honey. Okay?
Boo Boo, honey. Okay.
Nah, you're being spiteful now.
See, this condescension that she's showing, all of this, and what you don't even know what projection means. Every woman, when they're losing an argument, you're projecting. Let me clue you in on something. I have absolutely no problem with, and I've said this all the time. A lot of guys have a problem with women who are gold diggers, right? Well, she's just a gold digger. She just wants him because of his money. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a woman choosing a man because he has money any more than there's anything wrong with a man who chooses a woman based on the way she looks. This is biology. What I came on to tell you is that the dating market is not as simple as you think it is.
It is for me, though. It is for me.
I'm talking now. I need you to please listen. I'll let you respond. You just got to let me finish and then make your point. I think this is a good discourse. The point is that men and women do have similar bad experiences, but it's tougher for guys out here. Did you know that most virgins in this country are men?
Hold on, right quick. Let me wait. Let me just announce that we got the Godfather in the house. Got the God.
As you know, we have Mr. Samuelson popping up, and you know it's funny doing this. My view of this particular stream is that I've noticed with the manosphere that I've noticed this is me now, is when there's a back and forth between man and woman that a lot of men pop out of nowhere and like they smell blood. Have y'all noticed that? But really, this is a really good, interesting dialogue. I think one thing with Donavan is doing, he's really testing the waters with this chick to really school her and educate her. Now, mind y'all, Jenny from the block on the upper right corner, this woman is 47, going to turn 48 this year. She's only a few years close to 50. And like most women, this woman is, like guys label her as the eternal 7. And, you know, I'm not sure if I think she was married one time, maybe. I don't think the marriage lasts long. I'm not sure what kids she have. But let's say she was married. The way how she's carrying on now, and what you're going to find very soon, that, you know, there's no way in hell you will last in a normal relationship, much less a marriage. Because with that mouth, it's a problem. But let's continue on.
Godfather Kevin Samuels in the house. Shout out to the Godfather. Congratulations. It's been a few weeks, of course, but congratulations on that 1 million subscriber mark. Something is, you know, with a guy with 35,000 subscribers, I can't even imagine the amount of work it took. So shout out to Kevin Samuels. Of course, if Kevin Samuels wants to come up, I'm going to drop the link right now. This link is only for Kevin Samuels. I'm not sure if he can come up or not, but I've dropped it anyway. Sorry about that, Donavan. What were you saying?
I'm almost done. Let me ask you something, Jen. What percentage of men do you think are sexually active in America?
I don't know, and I'm not going to guess. If I don't have the actual statistics, I'm not going to guess. I don't know. Do you have the stat?
No, but I'll tell you this.
Okay.
Most women would not sleep with most men, while most men would sleep with most women. I
agree with that.
Right, exactly.
I agree with that.
Right, exactly. And what I seek to do is I seek to help men reduce the odds of them getting got by employing certain strategies. And there's really no strategies. It's just getting into shape, getting your money up. Look, there are no guarantees. There are no guarantees for men or women. But I think that women like yourself, not women like yourself, I don't want to put it like that. But hold on, sweetheart. There are a lot of women who really couldn't care less, which is fine. But if you don't, women are not supposed to care about men. I get that. They don't care about a man's plight because you're women. You have your own plight. But I think it's very, very important that women understand that men don't date like women. Women can get dates and dick whenever they want. It's hard for guys out here. And that's why guys like myself exist. Yes, I've been a simp. I've been played. I've been lied to. I've cried over women. I've done all of those things. But those things are necessary for a man to really sort of find out who he is. So he doesn't get played by other women. This is why men have to have experiences. Women are born, Jen. Men have to become. As women, you guys are born with everything you need to secure everything you need. That's it. Men, we don't have it that way, and that's okay. We have to build value. Women simply have to preserve it. Unfortunately, most women are not preserving their value. They're spending all of their lottery winnings on sleeping around. Then when they're 35, 40 years old, they're asking, well, where have all the good men gone? Well, they're after women who look like you used to.
Jesus.
Damn.
Can I respond now?
Yeah, absolutely, Jen.
I would.
Woo. Now, one thing that if Jen was on her A game, but she's not, she should ask a tangible question: at what age does a man really get it, or where it really sinks in regards to he getting burned so many times? What age will he really rationalize it, really get it, to understand how to have the better outcomes with women out here? See, one thing with men, and I want people to understand this, we deal with logic at the end of the day. And we know this is not a woman's thing, logic. And we know that when we express ourselves with certain women, we always deal with the logic, not much the feeling, because at the end of the day, men have to make the harsh decisions. Now, the amount of virgins from men and women today in America, I would say, is probably far exceeding. I expect, and I know, and I would say not anticipate, I know if there was data, that there were a whole lot of male virgins now than more than ever here in America for the past 20 or more years. I would say the past 15 years at best. Since the introduction of the internet. Well, the internet was been around since the late 90s, but since social media started coming around the early 2000s, that the rise of male virgins start to skyrocket a little bit. And the reason why that is because a good portion of the male population has, if you are a millennial especially, you've been raised and groomed through television and video games especially, and you didn't do much outside time. So most likely your interaction with the opposite sex is only when it comes to school, on the average. But other than that, you're going to be antisocial. Like some of the females also could develop antisocial ways as well. But it's more worse for males because males have to go out there and hunt for these chicks, for these bitches. But nowadays, that drive is not there because, in my opinion, the reason why that is because a lot of them been raised by mom too long. That's the only answer I give it. So let's continue on.
Really appreciate it. If you just call me by my name, is that impossible for you? To have respect to call me by my name?
Yes, that's impossible, honey.
It's impossible? Then I'm gonna call you a fuckboy. Is that okay?
Okay. Listen. Let's everybody. Let's call each other's names. Okay. No, you're right. You're right, Jen. Jen. You're right, Jen.
Okay.
His name is Donavan. Donavan. This is Jen. You guys know each other.
If he's saying it's impossible, then he's saying it's
no,
impossible.
it's all right. Jen. He's gonna call you Jen. Donovan's gonna call you Jen. It's no problem. There's no problem.
Okay. So I feel like Donavan is talking about a particular demographic, and again, he's projecting. Okay. He's saying it's hard out here for us to have sex. The lead attorney, do you have problems having sex? Kevin Samuels, if he's on, does he have problem having sex? Does Michael B. Jordan have problem having sex? Does what's his name? I forgot his name. Anyway, there are some men that never, ever, and will never, and never have, ever since junior high school, college, and into their corporate careers, have not had problems having sex or getting women. You are speaking about a certain demographic. You do not know me. You do not know my history. You do not know the men that I've helped. You do not know the men that I've picked off a corner and turned into something because their mothers failed them. You do not know me. So you are projecting towards the wrong woman. You are projecting.
Now, here, one thing, let me pause. This is not projection. What she just revealed, and this is, I'm not sure if I want to call this gaslighting. What in the fuck does celebrities have to do with the average Joe going out here and getting some ass? That's my one question to ask, because, and this is the problem with a lot of our people. in our communities. We live vicariously through celebrities. Celebrities have a different outcome in life than us, regular folks, middle class or lower class. Reason why I say case in point, they have access to certain resource, money, and people. And the few regular Joes that, like I said, like the Kevin Samuels, lead attorney, or whoever, these men, few men, are in the quote unquote six figures. So their outcome is going to be a little bit different than the man that's, I guess, the average American now, Caucasian, 50K, black man, 40K. It's a little different. And the reason why it's different because, let's be honest, if you're a man and you're able to get pussy like that, you gotta be either one, two things. You look a certain sex appeal for the ladies, or you're paying for it. And we could probably add in if you got that so-called mouthpiece, which, you know, the guys that's learning game or teaching game, that's fine. But it's not really any tangible skill you could put out in the market for a marketable sense for competing. Unless you compete for pussy, so. But anyway, like I said, women like this needs, and not only this like little spice Latina, but also black women. Y'all need to stop living vicariously of celebrities. You sound dumb and stupid and ignorant. Anyway.
Projecting towards the wrong woman. You do not know me. All you see is female, and you must know that she's against it. You're bugging, dude. You are bugging.
I don't think that he's making a response directly to you.
Hold up.
He did say, what I came to tell you, that's directly towards me, is it not? He's not saying women in general. He was seething backstage to come speak to me. Okay?
Sweetheart.
So in my opinion, he's Captain Obvious. He's like, oh, men have been burned. Women have, welcome the fucking earth.
Yes.
Where people get burned every single day. So if you feel like you can relate to this demographic and you started a show where men have, first of all, you just said men, you're collecting men. This is unbelievable. You're collecting men and kind of like raising them up and teaching them how to be some sort of high value person so they can get men, right? I mean, so they can get women, right? Just the fact that you have to do that, okay, is an issue. Men should.
Did you know she just slipped up, fellas? She said, you work hard just to get men. Did anybody catch that? I can't rewind it because, you know, like I said, I'm using a new system. But I want you to, when you go back, pay attention closely if you wind back that part. And I think that was on the, what mark? On the actual video of this is the 6 hour, 18 minute mark. And on this particular section is almost the 46-minute mark of this stream. So pay attention and be careful when these women are using certain words because they reference that, from her understanding, most men or some men are doing this just to impress men, just to have intercourse with other men. And that, to me, was a red flag. That's the thing I picked up on that portion when she said that. Now, I think she might have corrected this up, but as most people, you just don't let certain things slip like that. So always keep in mind and pay attention to little details like that.
Know that they have to keep up their appearance and their finances. Women should know that they got to be fine. Okay, without being taught. And those who don't know it innately should be taught and should shut the fuck up and stop being bitter about it. Stop being bitter. Stop being mad. If you don't know how to real good, if you don't know how to ride a man real good, if you know how to cook and clean and be sexy when he comes home, then be taught, but shut up and don't be bitter about it. Same with men. If you got a pot belly and you sitting on your computer all day and you looking for who to be mad at, you freaking have a receding hairline and you don't want to get a fully bald head.
Hey, now, you go easy on
whatever you get, you deserve. All right? Man up, woman up. But don't freaking project on people that don't have your experience. You can't tell me about the men I freaking help who are damn near freaking homeless and bums. You don't know who you're talking to. Trust me, you don't. I'm not the one to project on.
That I did. Never said that I did. Can I respond? No, never mind. I'm just going to go ahead and respond.
Yes, you can respond.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Okay,
Come on, Dominic. Come on, Donovan.
Listen, here's the deal. If she's gonna be like that, then guess what? I don't mind jousting. She can call me whatever she wants. Fuckboy actually is pretty apt at this point, so I have no problem. Number one. Number two, you leave my hairline alone. You leave my hairline alone. I am aging gracefully. Now, when I asked you about when I asked you about 6 minutes ago, I said, what percentage of men in America do you feel are sexually active? You said you didn't have a stat, and nobody really knows, right? But the men that you talked about who don't have a problem having sex, guys like the attorney, Michael B. Jordan, what do these men have in common? They are top 10 percenters. Of course, top 10 percenters don't have problems having sex with women. And here's something else for you. Women believe, when you ask women, let me ask you something. Who do you think cheats more, men or women?
If there are more, it depends on the population. If there are more women on earth than there are men, then of course women cheat more.
So women cheat more because there are more women?
If there are more women, if you have 10 women in a room and 10 men, right? I would say it's going to be pretty much even depending on morals and ethics, right? But if the population is huge, with women against men, and I would say women because there are more women on the planet.
Your mental gymnastics.
All right. Oh, for those that know, must like this stream, comment, even if in the chat room or in the end of this video, and please subscribe to Chaos Reign. You see it scrolling down the screen. I'm gonna tell y'all a short story. I asked the same question to another chick that we could say we did. Well, I was having a conversation with a chick with this, and I created a scenario and a story. What Donovan has presented here, and I asked her this question: if there are two people in the state of New York, and we gave a contest, a deal, and whoever wins will get a certain prize. I'm not gonna name what type of prize you get, but you get some if you are winner. Oh, no, matter, scratch that. We'll do something better. We'll just say this. I'm going to send you as a woman and you as a man in the streets of New York. And you will go out there in the environment for a whole day, 24 hours. And in this challenge, you must try to have as much sex with different people. With as much people you can within the first 24 hours. Now, I present this question to the same chick that I was dealing with and talking to. And I ask her a question. Who would have the more sex within that 24-hour span? I'm going to tell y'all something. Do you know this stupid fucking bitch told me that a man will have more sex and more bodies than a woman if they both were spread out in the environment for the first whole day, 24 hours, and see how many partners they can have sex with? But it fits me that she would come up in her rational thinking to think that a man is going to sit there get the upper advantage to have sex with many partners in one day than a woman. Now, I will respect Miss Jenny here, the little spicy Latina of the block, for keeping it honest, because she goes by the probability of numbers. That if the ratio there's more women than men in certain environments or situations, then yes, women are gonna cheat more and have more bodies than a male. Now, she had to use her logical thinking on this. But when I tell a few black women, and I'm telling you, and I'm not shitting you wrong, people, the few women that I present the same challenge and question, I would say more than 70-80% of them that I present this question and they give me this answer, they said a man will have more greater success having more sex and access in one day than a woman. Now, mind you, why? why would our sisters think like that? Because they're not being honest with themselves. Even if they want to keep it real and honest with me. Now, we could say they probably might not put themselves out there like that. That might be true. But my thinking is this. That why would this Spice Latina right here in the right upper right corner would give a logical answer dealing with the possibilities for an answer that more women will cheat and have more access to sex and have more body count than a man? Because she is being honest. Doesn't make her smart. She's being real honest. Besides dealing with the possibility of the numbers. But black women, you present this same logical question to them, they will conclude that a man will have more body counts than them. Which is ludicrous. It's insanity. It's stupid as fuck. So, keep that in mind that, because I created this scenario, and I hope some men take this idea and present it to every sister. Not just anyone, but just the sisters. And trust me, I guarantee you, and I bet money on this, that most black women, if you give them that same question that I present to y'all, this same story, they will conclude that men will have more sex and access and have heavy body count than women. And we all know fucking well that all women have to do is say, hey, you want to have sex? A man is not going to turn down fucking pussy. Quote me wrong. See if I'm wrong. All right, well, let's continue. Hold on.
Gymnastics, very impressive. I give you the silver medal. Here's the answer. The answer is this.
Is that a stat? Is that a legitimate stat? Or is it just what you feel happened to you 20 years ago?
I'm not mentioning feelings. I'm talking about facts.
Okay. Give me the statistic of who cheats more.
Okay. So women would normally say, well, men would cheat more. Men
but I didn't.
Okay.
But I didn't.
Okay, honey, I need you to really listen.
I'm listening, fuck boy. Go on.
Thank you very much, Miss Boo Boo. Now,
okay,
here's the deal. And see, this is why you're single, because you don't really know when to shut
up.
up.
What makes you think I'm single? This is what I'm talking about. You men come here and project everything that you feel. You're single. I bet between you and I, you're the single one. I bet you're single. This is what I'm talking about. You're too bitter to have a normal conversation. And you're not going to talk at me because I'm not your mama and I'm not your ex. You're going to respect me or not address me at all.
Sweetheart, I'll address you however I want because you're
okay, fuck boy, and I'll address you however I want. You want to be ignorant? I can be ignorant, or I can be cordial. It's up to you. And you can go back to your video games if you like. It's all the same to me.
Come on. No, I mean, listen, I think to be fair, Donovan, I think to be fair, she calls you Donovan. Donovan, you can call her Jen. There's nothing wrong with calling her Jen, Donovan.
Let me finish. I do have video games, Nintendo Switch.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah. Here's the deal, man. What it comes down to is this. The reason why most women believe that men cheat more than women do is mainly because most men are invisible to most women, okay? The bottom 90% of women, the bottom 90% of men are invisible to the bottom 90% of women. In other words, most men are invisible to most women. And so when you ask questions like, what percentage of men do you feel are sexually active? I don't know, 70, 80, 90%? You can watch podcasts all over. They ask these questions all the time. The answer is never that many. What they're thinking about are the top 10% of men. Of course they are. Of course women think men cheat more than women. They're thinking of the Michael B. Jordans, the attorney, high value guys, Kevin Samuels, et cetera, et cetera. The point is, and am I bitter? And I'll be honest with you. I used to be bitter. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I never went through a bitter phase. Dude, I was very angry. But the day that I understood women, that's really the day that I came to love them. A man who truly hates women is a man who simply does not understand them. And to understand women, you have to be hurt by women. You have to be used by women. You have to be abused by women. This unfortunately, it's a necessary evil, but it is necessary. This doesn't mean women are good or bad, okay? Women are neither inherently evil. They are neither inherently good. Women are the ultimate survivors. The hard drive is to survive. And to that end, this is why they act the way they act. My job is to make sure you mitigate as much damage as humanly possible by becoming the best version of yourselves and dealing only with the women that you see fit. It has nothing to do with anger or bitter or hatred. There are a lot of guys who do espouse that stuff. That's not me. I've never been that guy. That's just, and when I certainly wasn't on YouTube. I'm just trying to help men to become the best versions of themselves to avoid women like maybe you.
Jen. You don't know anything about me. You could never date me. You could never date me.
Probably not.
Okay. So then, is that my fault? Like,
no, not your fault.
Because let me tell you what's another problem in society in general. People do not ride their lane. Okay, and they end up bitter and barking at people like you are today, right here. They don't end up in their lane. Men want women, okay, that they can't maintain, and women want men that they can't maintain. Point blank, period. Then they get dragged through the mud, and then they hate everybody. Stay in your lane. You know what you look like. You know you're balding. I get.
Now. I'm not sure if y'all were paying attention. She talks about staying in your lane. Interesting. Are you saying that just only on the man's side, or are you also saying that for the woman's side? And let's be honest. Let's be fair, fellas. When most women talk about staying in their lane, they're really telling you that you can't get them, you can't get access to them, and that you're shooting your shot and it's a waste of time. And I'm going to say personally, to a lot of men have been expressing this, especially from the major content creators telling and push back on this, that saying men always know what they can attain and get. And sometimes they even settle. So it's not a difficulty of a man if he's really staying in his lane. It's that a lot of women don't want to hear that you're not going to qualify for a certain set of men. So you need to stay in your lane as well. Boo-boo. But how many times have you told other sisters, Miss Jenny in the block? I know you say you're from the Bronx, so you've been around a lot of black people. Are you telling that to other women? Not only other Latina women that are, there are some that are fat as well. Why are you telling that to other black women to stay in the lane? No, you're not. I guarantee you're not. But it's expected because, let's be honest, women think that they can have the world. But the world is not for sale, bitch. It's a dirty fucking world. You gotta work hard for everything. And even work hard, you might not get what you asked for. So keep that in mind. I hope y'all guys liking this little short breakdown. But, you know.
You have a gut. You play games all day. You're the biggest blurred, probably, that you freaking know, right?
Oh, baby.
Get you a woman that wants a guy that plays video games all day, although he's in his 30s and 40s, doesn't work out, probably doesn't eat right, probably stinks. Stay in your lane. And then you won't get mad at the women that rejected you. Same thing for the women. Same thing for the women. It's just like the followers of Derek Jackson. Half of them are fat, unattractive, and then they're mad at men because men don't want them to take advantage of them. Stay in your lane. I don't care what you look like, what you're into, what you want. Stay in your lane.
But I said before, Miss Jenny Block, women don't think that they need to stay in no motherfucking lane. And let me tell you something. A lot of people should know this already. Women are the highest consumers. End of story. Women are the highest consumers out here. You know? And it is marketable. It is economic feasible to keep selling women delusion. And case in point, that you could have it all. You could be big as a whale. Hell, you could even have more than one baby father, if give and take. And you could still wind up and think that you're gonna get a decent man, and even go as far as a top tier man. Man that's pushing 6 figures or better. But we all know the end result that is not the case. What Derek Jackson, which I don't mention much, he has sell you a dream, ladies. Same thing with anybody that's using call you queen, all this nonsense. That bullshit. They're selling you a pipe dream, but not recenter and bring you back and reel you back in with a fishing pole back to reality. And you just don't like it. That's why certain content creators have been pushing this now for years. Before I even came on YouTube, to even know about a goddamn master, black master, etc. That these dudes have been pushing this message for a long time. The only issue is why it's not getting traction like how it's getting traction now is because the times we live is very uncertain. And the reality is slapping in the face every day if you're a woman. And if you do not do what's necessary to secure or hold on to at least one man, not many men. And I find it interesting, very interesting, how certain women, one set of women, wants a certain group of men to build something. And want not just one man, but many men. And what I've concluded, fellas, when you hear any woman talk about say that the man's not doing what they should be producing, building and stuff, it's code switch that they want to have access so they could bounce around from dick to dick and be sucking fucking other men. Which they already doing already. But the problem is the dudes they fucking suck are not giving their outcomes. So they need a set of pool of what they want to call controlled fuckboys. The Tupacs, the ones with the suit. Looks the swag and all stuff, but also be business minded and suit to bring them all. And I mean all the money. That's what they're saying. That's the code switch that the code they're telling say, I need many more of the real productive dudes that I'm sexually attracted to. So if I get tired of this man, which I do, I'm going to probably bounce off and get on the next cock carousel and do it all over again. So don't be fooled by these little coded words. Men built just for civilization. Things are already built, and men are going to continue to build for their own preservations. They're not going to do it and focus most of the 9/10 of the time, even now, for a fucking bitch. And even especially for an ungrateful bitch. I'm keeping it real with y'all. Just keeping it real. So let's continue.
And you won't be online barking at people because of your bad experiences. I guarantee all the women that you've had bad experiences with were out of your league, or you couldn't tell, I'm not really feeling this dude. I'm going to get X, Y, and Z because he's a complete idiot. So I'm going to get X, Y, and Z. And you failed to see that. So you can't take that out on anybody else. Accountability and responsibility is yours. It's yours.
I preach accountability. Listen, you're right.
Do you?
I do. I preach personal accountability. I tell guys all the time, listen, you can't be a fat fuck living with your mama talking about I need a dime. That's bullshit. But by the same token, if you're a woman and you're loud and boisterous like you are, you can't expect a high value.
I'm loud with you. Rewind this video, okay? Don't pull that bullshit with me. I reciprocate energy.
Very respectful.
Okay? I reciprocate energy. You called me out my name. I called you out of yours. I have never done that on this platform. I have never once done that on this platform. A dog walk in, I can go bitch mode. Don't play with me. Don't pull that card. You came in like a complete bitch ass nigga, and I'm responding.
Ad hominem attacks.
Gentlemen, and that's how I will respond. Don't pull that with me. Yeah. Don't pull that with me. You're not going to be slick. Don't pull that with me. You came in here like a bitch in heat, and I reciprocated. So don't tell me I'm loud and boisterous now.
You are loud and boisterous.
I'm loud with you. And that's why you're bitter about women, because this is the energy you give them, and they give it back, and then you want to point the finger at them.
Hold on. It kind of sounded there at the end that you guys were kind of, it kind of sounded a little bit like you guys were kind of saying the same thing. It sounded like Donavan was and you, Jen, both of y'all were saying, listen, both the men and the women need to get their stuff together, right? Men need to be in shape, get their finances together. Women need to be in shape, maybe be a little feminine, right? It kind of sounds like, we kind of, even though we started very far apart, kind of willed our way together.
Well, this is the real Jen. This is who she is. So,
all right. So,
a quick pause. If you turn into the hour and I think 7-minute mark, I believe, she referenced Mr. Sharpe as a bitch ass nigga, where she used the N word for the first time. And it posed the question of the stream: can the Spicy Latina use the N word, fellas? Now, mind you, this is one half of the segment that I had to chop up a little bit, which is going to go into the second segment. But she referenced and called Donavan the N-word. Now, much times how y'all view or feel of the man because he's in an interracial relationship. And, you know, I have my own opinions. I'm not really fond of interracial relationships between either man and woman. But that's just me. But for the sake of conversation, Donavan is one of the black brothers, black man amongst other black men. And one thing that lead attorney, I don't know if he caught it, but he might have caught it, but he let it slide, that this Latina woman used the N-word. Now, I'm going to keep playing and see if he says anything in response into this.
It looks like you guys, even though it doesn't seem like it from the energy, you guys kind of ended up in the same place.
I think we have the right mindset. I think, and Kevin says this all the time, men and women are better together, man. And you want to know something, man? Like, I did the player days. I was out in Vegas, you know, dude, strippers and blowing all that. It was a good time. But that life damn near swallowed me up. And the interesting thing is as much of a magic carpet ride that 8.5 years in Sin City was, my life now in a relationship, though it has different challenges, my life is 10 times better. Is it as exciting? Well, no, I'm 44. I'm not 34, right? A funny thing happens when you have a lot of experiences with women, good or bad. You grow up. You kind of grow out of it. Listen, man, I showed my video game controller just to kind of troll you. Dude, this is a Nintendo Switch. I've been meaning to play this. I don't have time to play video games. You want to know why?
You can't troll me. I think you're corny, so you can't troll me. I knew you had a video game console. I knew you played video games. How did I know that? How did I know that without asking?
Hold up now. Probably Obama plays video games. Like, come on. Video games.
Playing video games and dudes that sit in dungeons like he has and play video games. There's a difference. There's a difference. I don't have a beef with video games, but this dude is a dungeon video game player. I know.
First of all, this is not a dungeon. Wait, Jen, come on now. Jen, hold on. You're a content creator too. You know that's a nice studio that Donavan has. Shout out to the production.
I don't give a shit what she thinks. But what you guys are seeing here is that she's continuing the name calling, even though I went respectful. So you can continue to act like the pit bull you are. I'm going to keep my cool because the mask is off. We know who you are. You're loudmouth.
Right. And you're a bitch ass nigga.
Yep. You got that right.
The masks are off. The masks are off.
Absolutely.
You're a bitch ass bitter nigga. It's okay that.
Whew. Latina heat. I know y'all guys, some of you dudes, y'all drooling over this little old ass Latino chick for every good reason or negative reason. And I know y'all let certain words slide. And I get it because let's be honest, most black men, I'm going to say most, they get very weak in the knees if you are a beta blue pillar over a chick like this that's not so dark and she's more white looking, Eurocentric looking than anything else. That she'll call and say nigga very comfortably in front of your face, and you will have no problem with that. And the thing I find it very odd, they will have no problem with this. But to me, I have a problem. Because you giving a leeway, if you give women like this or any European / Spaniard use the word nigga loosely, no matter what neighborhood were you around them, you open the Pandora's box. Black man, black woman. I'm sorry to tell you that. You can't complain about the white man use the word N-word. You let women or people like this say it, and they're not black. I'm just keeping real. And she's using the word now more than one time now. It is what it is. But like I said, if you are a black male and you get weak in the knees because this woman doesn't look ethnically black, well, she's not really black. She don't look black to me, so I can't really say from my perspective. And here's the danger of all this. This bitch says she's Afro-Latino. But nothing I see from head to toe, nothing Afro or anything like. She's Latin, but nothing African in nature with her. And trust me, Amara La Negra is more fitting of an Afro-Latina than this chick right here. But she not getting no notice or praise because she looked like a black person, Amara La Negra, when she kept the fro and hair and all. So let's continue.
You guys run
Jesus,
rampant.
the N-word, gosh.
You guys run rampant on social media. You guys run rampant on social media. You're all in Kevin Samuels' comments like, yes, get him. I know your type. I know who you are.
Media,
I know who you are. Twitter is hell.
Samuels for 4 years.
Mad as hell. Twitter and mad as hell. Go play your game.
All right, listen. I think there's some friction here, but you guys ended up saying pretty much the same thing.
No, Jen just called me names. I came with logic. That's why she lost the argument. That's why.
Donovan, hold on, wait, Jen, hold up, Jen. Donovan, let's be fair. Let's be fair, Donovan. You were calling her some names too. All right, you calling her honey boo boo and this and that. So let's be fair.
In terms of endearment, I call everybody this.
Donovan, come on. Now listen, I know. Listen, Donovan, I know in a lot of parts of the manosphere.
Hold on, I'm being real with you. I call my sisters my
Donovan,
mom.
you know that she didn't take it like that. All right. So come on, Donovan. Over here, listen. I don't know where you go on. I know YouTube is a big place.
Got two guys fighting each other.
But over here, Donovan, we try to have some decorum and some type of intellectual honesty more than decorum. Sometimes things get a little rowdy, but we do try to be intellectually honest over here. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, you're not the million, but I'm being honest with you. If that's not what you do here, I'm totally cool. I apologize for.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No.
I think you just need to let Jen know about the same decorum because it sounds like she.
I said, listen, sometimes we do have decorum, but then sometimes it goes off the rails. That's fine. But apart from decorum, we do try to have some intellectual honesty, right? And if she's calling you names and you're calling her names, and we're going to acknowledge it on both sides. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Acknowledge it. I don't have to agree with it. This is just what I now. Okay, you're right.
All right, Donovan, come on, man. Come on.
Real quick. When I saw it made her upset, I was kind of jabbing her a little bit just to kind of get her.
All right, then just say that. Then listen, there's nothing wrong with admitting that, Donovan. There's nothing wrong with being intellectually honest. Like we're just having a discussion over here. Absolutely. There's no money on it, right? Sorry. There's no money on it. No problem.
I apologize.
No problem. No, you're the man. Everybody knows you're the OG.
No, that's all. I appreciate it though. I appreciate you bringing me on the platform.
No problem. And in the end, I think what you were saying about, listen, women have some advantages. You're absolutely right. And while acknowledging that men need to get their stuff together, like you said, and Jen was basically saying the same thing. Jen was like, hey, there's risks on both sides. Maybe women exploit men, but sometimes men exploit women. And I can tell you as a 20-year divorce attorney, there are some men that exploit women, right?
Yes. What are the percentages?
The percentages of what? The exploitation?
Yeah. You're an attorney. Well, I don't know. It depends on what you define as exploitation.
That's exactly right, Donovan. I mean, exploitation, you can define exploitation in a number of ways, right?
Well, I don't. Well, that's what I'm asking you. What do you? And this is an honest question. Like, what do you like in your professional opinion? When one person, regardless of race, exploits another in a divorce, what exactly does that entail?
It can entail a lot of things. It can entail, let's say in the divorce process, for example, maybe some parental alienation when you're turning the kids against, let's say, the father. Maybe denying the father 50-50 custody, right. Maybe taking more than your fair share of the alimony and the child support. Okay. It could absolutely.
In your experience, which gender does this more, men or women?
The law allows the women to do it more. Absolutely.
My case. Your Honor. Well, Your Honor. Hey, buddy.
No, I mean, that's an absolute fact. Now, I will say, this has been going on since the 80s and the 90s. And, most of the judges in the 80s and 90s were men. So it's kind of, men slamming the gavel down on men, right? Which is another question in itself, So I don't want to say that the women aren't out here necessarily in family court running the show.
No, you're right.
It's the laws that allow them to run the show, and the majority of those laws were put into place by the men.
No,
which is amazing to me, right?
I'll say this. I'll say one more thing, and I'll jump.
Yeah.
A lot of people, feminism, for example, they like to say, "Oh my God, feminism is bad, and this and that and the other, and women are terrible." No, women are not terrible. Okay. Feminism, fourth wave feminism is terrible. First wave feminism, I believe there was actually a good purpose. With first wave feminism, women simply wanted a choice. Okay. They wanted to say, listen, man, not every woman is cut out to be a mother or a housewife. Fine. It gave them a choice. Now women can vote. Now they can go into the workplace. What second, third, and fourth wave feminism has done is it's destroyed the family. It's destroyed the family. And it's to me, it's sad to see, man. Not only has it destroyed the family, what it has done is it has made men afraid to even interact with women. Women are now claiming sexual assault if a guy just looks at her funny, or if a guy asks her out, or what they call catcalling. And I used to be hard on guys who checked out of the sexual marketplace, because I used to be one of those guys. Hey guys, listen, looking like a guy like me, dude, if I can bang hot girls in Vegas, anybody can. But again, with time comes introspection. A lot of times what a lot of guys like us have to understand is that some guys don't know what it's like when there were actually traditional gender roles. I'm a child of the 80s. I watched Mr. T. I watched Knight Rider. My favorite actors were conventionally masculine guys. Things could not be more different today. Not only that, men have absolutely no role models, especially in the Black community. 3 out of 4 of us are born out of wedlock. And so what this has done is this has created a generation of men that is not only resentful, but they're afraid to deal with women. And the reason why they're afraid to deal with women is because of condescending women like Jen. Respectfully, I mean that respectfully, Jen.
All right. Do you have any comment on that, Jen?
I reciprocate.
Yeah. There's very few masculine role models when the family or the Black household, and I would say maybe other households, but particularly Black community, kind of hurt the most during the end of the 70s, going on 1981, when the crack started to really roll in more heavy, when Reagan was in office, I believe. My thing is this: because the role models of men, they had to be compensated by media, which is a blessing and a curse. Y'all must understand, media is the best known propaganda that controls the mind and hearts of young people that will become the future adults. At that time, if anybody was born around the late 70s, early 80s, they would know what TV shows were depicting of certain role models. And I think during the 80s was when BET started coming to rise of putting Black television shows in media outlets, because it was the first few at the time, including Bill Cosby, that put in the masculine roles of what a father role is and what a mother's role is. That kept some cohesion of a family structure. Because family structure during the 80s was starting to slowly collapse for Black people. And that's where you see the rise of more stepdaddies, which is now obsolete now in the 21st century. The point is this, that like Donavan Sharpe, he is a product, because he's a 70s baby living in the 80s, of the destruction. And the only thing that he can reflect on or see any masculine is through those type of media outlets like the Knight Riders, A-Team, etc. So, but like I said, this is a very fair going back and forth between Jen and Donavan Sharpe. And as you know, like I said before, she has used the word N-word more than 3-4 times. So let's conclude this segment, which is going to lead to the next segment.
energy and language at the end of the day. How many times have I been here? How many conversations have I had with different men? You've never seen this, but I will reciprocate, and I'm not going to be shamed for reciprocating.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just say, listen. His last comment was, he was not giving you any negative energy. He was just making a comment. So I guess I was asking if you had any comment on what his last comment was.
Oh no, I was just addressing when he said I was condescending.
Okay. No, I see what you're saying.
It's just an opinion of mine.
All right. Well, I'm glad we got to the place where, it seems like both of you guys are saying that, there really needs to be an accountability on both sides.
I like debates like this. I think people with opposing views, we have to talk, because believe it or not, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I actually learned a little something talking to Jen. I mean, I know, all kinds of stuff was going on, but with every conversation, especially with a debate, yeah, you kind of learn what's really going on the other side, if you will. So I appreciate you having me on, Jen. I appreciate you debating with me.
No problem. Well, thank you so much, Donavan, for coming on. Y'all know who Donavan is, one of the OGs in this space. Shout out to Donavan Sharpe. Y'all see his name right there. Y'all know who he is.
That's Mr. Boo Boo from now on, Jen.
Mr. Boo Boo.
Same to you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
So much.
Before I play the final segment of this, you like what you hear so far, or my little take, please make sure you like this video, share this video, and make sure you subscribe to the Chaos Reign channel. You will definitely won't regret. As you know, that was the back and forth. One thing I've learned between the back and forth, that Donovan brings the best out of himself and his brand, his logo, and he is teaching a lot of you guys, 18 and possibly up, of how the game is really set out. He's laying out the scenario, the environment, and is pushing not only the envelope, but pushing the women that you're dealing with and the signs to watch out for. Now, throughout the whole interaction, Miss Jenny from the block has failed repeatedly in regards proving Donavan Sharpe is right about women's nature, in a way, which he just sitting there just laying out the information and facts. Now, regards calling her boo-boo and all that stuff, that's just relevant to me, because, listen, a lot of dudes like to pick the bear a little bit, not gonna knock it, overall, but I look at it as I deal with the information. I don't deal with too much of the emotions tied to the thing. Now, I would say Jen should handle herself a little better, especially in front of a crowd of black men, which this is a black man's channel from Lead Attorney. And I guarantee most of the subscribers are mostly men. So how she carries herself and her words should have been way better, and she should have been more cognizant of her language. But she feels and knows that she could say and do the things she does, because majority of the males that watch the playback or were on that panel, some of them are very much beta, blue pill, and especially very, very weak when they see that Latina heat. So they're going to ignore her using the N-word because they know they want to get access to the pussy. They want to see how Jen's mouth goes around that thing, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of dudes want to sit there and just go. But anyway, the second segment, what you're seeing now, and let me see. This segment right here is where the lead attorney confronts Jen about this N-word. And trust me, you're going to find some very interesting scenarios and outcomes coming out of this particular clip. Listen good, listen well. So let me do this. All right, here we go.
All right, Jen, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. You heard what the other gentleman had said, and I absolutely want to give you a chance to respond to that.
Definitely. I'm trying. I'll do my best to be concise. I'm on my phone right now. I'm not home.
First things first, I don't know that guy. He doesn't know me. He sounds like a Tariq Nasheed minion. I think I mentioned before on your show that Tariq Nasheed went to my Instagram page, took a soundbite of something I said, and then created content, which is what a lot of these guys do, as you know. They'll take a soundbite and then make 2-3 hours, a 2-3 hour show, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with your narrative or what you said. The scab comment, I will double down. I am not backsliding. I said specifically, I said to Black people, Black Americans, because there's a difference, right? There's Latinos that say they're Black. Everybody has a different definition for everything, like I said before. The videos are still up. I haven't deleted anything. He said, Anglo-Saxons. I have never done a panel with a white person, if that's what he meant. I have never let anybody talk to me sideways. You guys know me enough to know. Do you really think that I was on anybody's panel and they talked sideways to me and I didn't say anything? Do you really think that from what you guys have seen? So you can't find one video of me online where some Anglo-Saxon, as he described it, is talking to me any kind of way, any types of greasy. That's the first thing. The scab comment, I will double down because it seems that people think that I regret saying it or I shouldn't have said it because she ain't Black, right? I specifically said to Black people, stop wearing your Blackness like a scab that you let any person pick off and put you through the pain over and over and over again. Stop wearing your Blackness in this country like a scab. Be thicker than that. Be stronger than that. I still stick by my words. I will not change it. What Tariq Nasheed did was took that soundbite and said, she said Blackness is a scab. She said Blackness is a scab. That's what Tariq Nasheed did. And that's what this fool was echoing just now. The second thing is people are confused. They don't know what Afro-Latino is. I am not responsible for your lack of education. I am not going to sit here and go into a soliloquy of the diaspora and the slave trade, but more than Africans were slaves, okay? There were slaves in Puerto Rico and slaves in China and slaves in Brazil and Cuba and Panama and Haiti. There were slaves all over the place. I am not responsible for your lack of education. Afro-Latino is not new. I didn't just invent that last week. Afro-Latinos have existed since the slave trade, okay? My father aesthetically would look like a regular Black African-American man. My mother is more of a Spaniard Latina. That's why I look the way I look. So I'm not, it's funny that people are saying, she's saying the word Black, but she can't say, you don't own, the word nigga, I'm sorry. You don't own the word nigga. And yes, I do have a video.
All right, I gotta pause this bullshit. She said her father looks aesthetic Black. AK, your father not Black. Your father might look more lightish and maybe not too whitish. That type of aesthetic. But when we look at you and look at you out overall, you're as pretty much white as any Latina. Unfortunately. And you gotta be very careful, fellas and ladies, when you hear any person who falls and calls himself Afro-Latino or Latin descent, they talk about this aesthetic nonsense. That means one part of your parents not even Black. We all niggas when we see one, and we know what outcomes is produced from a union. Now, today, when most unions, the children are going to look a little bit more watered down, but still, they're going to carry somewhat of the 50-50, the less little non-recessive gene, and the other 50 dominant gene. It's half and half from both of your parents. So you're going to have the outcome. The phenotype is going to look a little bit more of both parents. And from looking at Miss Jenny from Block, you don't look like either one. You look like an average Caucasoid. Just using the word nigga. And you're right. Nigga is not a trademark word whereas only niggas could use. But Black people telling you personally, you can't call no Black person nigga around here. You better not. You damn sure better not. Because we could look from your outer appearance, sweetie, that you're not really Black. And that is the thing that why the lead attorney had to did that stream because he had to go for the playback, and he's reading the comments, and he find that a lot of people, especially the men, were offended that this chick was calling one of their own brothers a nigger. Now, that doesn't say that you, Miss Jen, because you have access to actual black dick and you're fucking sucking, doesn't give you the validation and the A-OK to be using the word nigga likely, regardless wherever part of New York you're from. So let's continue on, man. And let's be fair and honest. She didn't respect the lead attorney that day. So let y'all know. Side note.
My very first video on my channel is trying to get rid of the word nigga. And let's be clear, okay? I am born and raised in the South Bronx. My entire family is Black and Latin. I have said the word nigga since I could walk. I stopped saying it, okay, because I didn't like it, because I grew up and I felt there was a better way that we can address each other, whether it's a term of endearment or otherwise. Because people think, well, we changed the word. We made it a term of endearment. That's bullshit. Because when you're pissed off at somebody like I was, what do? Bitch ass nigga, fuck boy nigga, you a dumb nigga, you a stupid nigga. So the word hasn't really changed completely to be a term of endearment. And I said, you know what? And it's gonna sound corny. One time I was watching Oprah and she said I could no longer use the word that so many people heard while they were being whipped, while they were being murdered, while they were being raped. And that resonated with me. That was the first time I was like, damn, I know again. So yes, my first video on my channel is saying no one owns the word. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you think you is. You don't own the word nigga. It belongs to
don't you see
white
why? Don't you see why some people are having a problem with it? If you're saying that no one should use the word, and then you're calling a black man the word nigga.
No, I agree. No one should use the word. But again, it is a part of my vocabulary. Since I was a toddler growing up in the Bronx, my family is both Black and Hispanic. It is part of my vocabulary as much as it's part of yours, as much as it's part of anybody's on this panel. It is a part of my vocabulary since I was a child, in my environment, in my community, with my family. I decided on my own to curb the word. I decided on my own not to use it. I'm not using it because it belongs to Black people. That's not why I'm not using the word. It belongs to whoever. It is used by whoever comes from communities that I come from. The word nigga with an A at the end is used by everyone who comes from the communities that I come from, who are either Black or Hispanic. Period. And I decided not to use it.
Wait, hold on. Let me let it play a little further.
Here's the thing. Like, looking at you, it's clear, and listening to you talk, it's clear that you're Hispanic. But, you know, people classify themselves as what they want to classify themselves in 2021, right? And you had been asked recently, what do you consider yourself? And you said Afro-Latina, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking, hey, you feel like you're Black, right? It's fine. But, you know, and it, you know, that could be the case. I'm just trying to figure out, because it seems like you're saying, well, with the scab comment and Black people do this and you guys should not do this and you guys should not do that. It doesn't seem like you feel like you are a part.
Okay. And they pause it from this end. Because I'm going for a delay here. Let me see how much more time left. 9 more minutes. Yeah. My thing is this. Like I said, the word nigga is not trademark stamp for, you know, for a certain set of people say you cannot use this word. Yes, you could use any word. You're free. This is America. But there's consequences for every action in your language. You have to be mindful, bitch. You're around Black people, Black men and Black women. And they tell you personally, you cannot call them a nigga. And I think she's not really getting it, regardless what part of the East Coast you're from. Now, I'll be honest with you. Most black people, because they don't know how to decipher who's who and who's what. And let's go there about the history. Up until the 70s, 1970 particularly, they start recategorize everybody. And they did include Latin people in the 70s, which is proven evident if we can go to Google now on the U.S. Census. They actually separate people that are Latin and possibly Afro-Latino from black people, what they want to call niggas in America for the last 50 years. Especially. But I'm telling you now, today, even right now with the lead attorney, is trying to explain to this chick that is a problematic using that word in front of this panel. Well, it's a set of men and women that's listening in. Because they don't look at and view as black. At all. At all. And as y'all listen, you're going to hear more why the lead attorney has to keep expressing and have to drill it in. Because you know how people are very ignorant and stupid. You have to keep repeating and have to keep pushing the narrative. So listen closely.
Of us, or does
right,
uh-huh.
No, you're absolutely right. I am not. There's a difference between Afro-Latina and African-American. The cultural differences are there, whether we like it or not. I would never say I am a Black American woman. That is not how. I am not a Black American woman. I am an Afro-Latina. I grew up in a Hispanic home. A Black American woman would tell you the same. I guarantee. Scroll through the comments. She ain't black, and it's black women saying it, and it's black men saying it. So why, when I separate myself, why do I get looked at sideways? They know I'm not. They know I'm not black, and I know they're not Hispanic just because we all have a tan.
Maybe you get looked at sideways because you're making videos talking about, number one, black people shouldn't use their blackness as a scab, and then number two, black people should stop using the word nigger, and then you turn around and call a black man a nigger.
Okay, but listen, I said
acknowledge a little bit that seems a little fucked up.
I can't acknowledge that because that's not what I did. I'm just saying
it seems. I'm not saying what you did. I'm just saying to outsiders, right, who have all this background information about you having some video with this Tariq guy, right? And to other people who have this background knowledge of you saying that, black people should not use their blackness as a scab. Black people should stop using the word nigger. And then you turn around in an argument and call a black man a nigger.
Okay, but you see what you just said.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Doesn't that seem a little fucked up?
The way you worded it, yes, but that is not what I did. So we have to go with facts.
What did you do?
Not what it looks like. I'm not responsible for interpretations. I'm not going to copy
I'm just
people.
asking you, what did you do? Jen, you said that's not what I did. Fine. So the question is, what did you do?
I made a video where I said everyone should stop using the word nigga. Everyone. Okay. I didn't direct it at black people. I didn't say, hey, good morning, black people. You need to stop using the word nigger. I explained my history with that word.
Okay, so everyone should stop using the word nigger.
Everyone.
Fine. And then you made a video saying that black people wear their blackness as a scab.
In response to the hypersensitivity and the current environment of racial sensitivity.
Okay.
I find it interesting, this is just me, that not only she uses the word loosely, but she had go out her way to even make a video just to justify blackness. And we already know from looking at her from head to toe, you're not really that black. You might be sucking and fucking black cock, but you're not black. It is what it is. And in this racist society, which we're in, people go by the phenotype. We look at your head count. We gotta see who we talking to, and we know from black to non-black when we see it. And lead attorney is still trying to explain to this stupid bitch, and she's still not getting it. And mind you, he is a lawyer. a marriage lawyer, a divorce lawyer for a generation now. He doesn't have time to go back and forth to look at your old material. Hell, I don't have time to look for your shit. And if I waste my time now trying, even right now, let's say if I try to look you up, it's a little difficult because you're not known, you're not seen, you're not visible like that. And how I rationalize all of this, to be fair, honest, that you don't have a very large audience. Your audience, 9/10 of the time, are pretty much maybe male, and maybe the male might be mostly black because, like I said, black men get weaker knees because you are a little spicy Latina. You know that thing goes, you know, that type of shit. They like that shit. But you can't fool me, and you can't fool the men that you see in the panel, especially the attorney. That shit will not fly there. We will hold you and stop you right there for that bullshit. For using the N-word. And matter of fact, let me continue playing because I want this thing to done.
The video. You can interpret it however you see fit.
I'm asking, Jen.
Okay, the video is still on my Instagram. On the Block with Jen, it is still on my Instagram. I was very clear. I was telling black people specifically, okay, because of the current times, stop being hypersensitive. Stop letting people bait you into every little conversation. For instance, today you started with, I think that guy was mimicking an ape. That comes from your experiences, right? He could have been mimicking a caveman, but your interpretation was, no, he's mimicking an ape, right?
No. I said, this is what it could be to me, but I'm putting it forth to you. You guys make the decision, right? How do I know? You guys, this is what it looks like to me. You guys make the decision. In fact, I used the word jury. I said, you guys decide. You are the jury. That's what I said.
So then what's the difference when I make a video saying, stop wearing your blackness like a scab and letting people pick it off?
I don't think, I'm not sure. Let me back up. I'm not sure if you hadn't seen the beginning of this, well, you might not understand the context. The context isn't the scab comment. In the last video, some people had a problem with you calling Donavan Sharpe a nigga. That's where it came from. The only person that mentioned the scab comment was this the last gentleman that was on. So it seemed, but I didn't know about the scab comment, and I didn't know about this whole you making a video saying that no one should use the N-word. I just knew that you classified yourself as Afro-Latina. But now, so I thought you were kind of inclusive. But now it seems like you're saying, no, you black people need to stop doing this. Everyone needs to stop saying the N-word. You black people need to stop doing this. And then you turn around and call a black man a nigga.
Yeah, but the way you're wording it, right? You're villainizing my words now. That's what you're doing. You called the black man a nigga. Listen to how that sounds. Listen to how that sounds.
Villainizing your words?
Yes, you are. Listen to how that sounds, okay?
Is it not a fact? Wait. Okay, let's take a step back. Let's take a step back because you're talking about villainizing, you're labeling, right? Is it a fact or is it not a fact that you called a black man a nigga?
It is a fact that I called a black man a bitch-ass nigga.
I didn't even want to make it that worse, right? So don't tell me that I am villainizing your words when I am stating facts, Jen. I just had to get on somebody else recently about us being intellectually honest on this platform. Don't tell me that I'm what did you say, villainizing your words when I'm stating a fact, because it looks like you're trying to escape accountability for what came out of your own mouth, and you're 47 years old. Like, I'm not talking to a 15-year-old here. All right. So don't tell me that I'm villainizing your words when I'm just stating a fact. You see where I'm coming from?
I see where you're coming from. And the reason why I said you're villainizing it is because if someone just took what you just said, just the soundbite, you called a black man a nigga without context, without seeing that this man was disrespecting me.
I'm gonna say this. It's gonna be unconstitutional. Fuck the contents. You use and call this so-called black man a nigga. There's no in, buts, or between it. Now you must own up to that bullshit and take accountability. I don't give a fuck about how you get your feelings. And let's be honest, Donavan Sharpe was not cussing this woman out throughout the first segment of this particular stream. So for you to get your emotional and then use the N-word because of whatever reason, you always had the inclination to be using the N-word loosely. And not only loosely, you use it in front of other black people, other black males, and hell, even to other black women. And even go as far as probably use it while you're getting your throat banged out and get your back blown out by a black man. But it goes back again, accountability is very much a non-factor to every woman in the female species, from what I'm concluding. So, let's continue. And one thing, because I'm not sure if this bitch is still doing YouTube or IG, she better off stay on IG with all that bullshit. It's more popular.
Repeatedly and calling me out of my name. If they just took your soundbite, that's what Tariq Nasheed does. That's what Tariq Nasheed did with my video.
I am not in control of sound.
Wait, but I am not backsliding. I am not backsliding. I am not being unaccountable. I called a bitch ass nigga a bitch ass nigga. That is my language. That is my vocabulary, and it's always been. Now, with that said, yes, I reverted back to my roots. That is how we've always talked, where we come from. But that doesn't mean that I like using the word. I reverted back to my roots. I still say everybody should stop saying nigga. Everybody. Not just me, everybody. And I wasn't talking at, and I wasn't talking at, no, sir. I wasn't talking at black people. The video is still up. The video is still up on Instagram. Judge for yourself. Watch the video and then tell me if I was going at black people and telling them that they wear their blackness as a scab. I'm not responsible for your hypersensitivity. I am not responsible for your hypersensitivity. I am not responsible for your misinterpretations. I'm responsible for my words and I stand by them. That's why the video is still up.
So you stand by, so you stand by calling Donavan Sharpe this bitch ass nigga when you're making videos saying no one should use the word nigga and making videos talking about how black people wear their blackness as a scab, and yet you call a black man a bitch ass nigga. That's what you stand by? I don't. I'm asking you a question.
Let me answer. You ask me. Let me answer.
Do not listen. Wait, I don't know where you're from. You're not going to scream at me, especially on my own platform.
So then let me answer.
Listen, no. You listen. You know.
Sorry about that. You see that bullshit right there? That same bullshit that Donavan Sharpe was talking about that he has revealed with this Jenny from the block, or the block from Jenny, wherever her IG is showing she's doing the same behavior towards the lead attorney. It's telling. It's very telling. Now, I'm going to ask you a simple question. You need to give an answer. And this is what I want most men to understand and hear me well. Anytime a woman is gaslighting, not giving or answering your question, you turn around and you go the other direction. Don't play this game with a lot of these females. That was a simple question that deserves an answer. And women does this constantly with you, gentlemen, because they know they're in the wrong and they want to admit it and then cough up and chuck it up. They always want to fight to know and justify why they do it, and they should be right and justify why they act and behave the way they do. And I'm telling you, man, don't allow that. Do not allow it at all. Have some standards, man. Let's continue.
I don't know where you're from. Like who raised some of these people? You're making all these videos and it's clear to everybody the hypocrisy. I'm asking you very simple questions and you're screaming. Why are you screaming? You're 47 years old. All right? I'm just asking you very simple questions, Jen. If you don't want to answer them, fine, but you don't have to scream at everybody. No one wants to hear a 50-year-old woman scream. Now, if you say you stand by everything you said, then that's fine. Fine. But now I understand why a lot of people had a problem. I was only operating under the one piece of information that I had when you said a couple of streams ago that you consider yourself an Afro-Latina. So I thought you were part of the in group. But you're not. And then you're listen. All right. So do you feel like you owe Donavan Sharpe an apology for calling him a bitch ass nigger, or no?
First of all, I'm 47. I'm not 50, but I know what happens in the manosphere, right? I know the ageism in the manosphere. I'm 47. Second, nobody should use the word nigger. Not even.
I'm just asking if you feel like you owe him an apology. That's all I asked.
I think that we both owe each other apologies. What do you think you owe him an apology for, Jen? And no, I shouldn't have been screaming.
Jen, I have a question. What do you think you owe him an apology for?
For calling him out of his name. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely, for calling him out of his name. But I think we both owe each other apologies because we both got hyper. But I'm not going to apologize for what I observe and what I comment on. I'm not going to do it. And the reason why I was just yelling, and I don't want to be yelling on anybody's platform, not just yours, but on anybody's platform, is because when I come on this platform, you have to understand the energy. I have 500 idiots in your chat section coming at me, and then I have you correcting me, and then I have panelists coming at me, and I've been holding my own.
All right. Listen. You know, we got one rule here. We got one. There's so few rules. There's so few rules on this show, and you see it, right? You see it. The one rule we have, though, which I have enforced always, is that when you're up here, we don't disrespect the chat. We just don't do it. Right. Mm-hmm. You know, you can talk to me and you really should be talking to me anyway. I don't really like so much when people are looking at the comments because we're up here in a conversation. But you're saying, oh, there are 500 idiots in the chat. These idiots are supporting me. These idiots are watching the stream that you're on. It doesn't even make any sense, Jen, and especially not for a 50-year-old. I know you're 47, but ageism is a thing, right? All right. So Donavan, you got your apology. Shout out to Donavan Sharpe.
That wraps it up. And it's a good thing that the lead attorney kicked that ungrateful skank off the panel. Well, there you have it, fellas and ladies. One thing I've learned throughout the whole back and forth, that woman will gaslight you, gentlemen, and it doesn't matter the racial ethnicity, rather she's a white Latino, Afro-Latino, whatever. At the end of the day, she's a woman. And her nature's going to perceive herself. But one thing is clear. If you don't have self-respect, as a man, you're going to let every woman like her run you over. And don't be fooled by her so-called cute looks. Gentlemen. My thing is this. I'm hoping in the near future, if you're a man and you have channels, podcasts, don't let no woman in any so-called disguise in the auspices of quote unquote either black or whatever, use derogatory language towards you or to anybody of any men amongst men on certain panels. Because by doing this, you give her the green light to not only herself, but other women that will come behind her to sit there, express herself, and disrespect you in any form or fashion. And that is the message I like to leave y'all with that. So, like always, if you are new to Chaos Reign channel, please hit the red button and the top bell, ding, for all uploads and notifications. Also, follow me on Twitter at Chaos Reign 7. And you can follow me on Facebook, Eric Reign on Facebook. Oh, and one other thing. Leave your comments at the end of this video. And I might just put a poll on here during this. And I might do it now, or it might be present, depending if y'all watching this, to see if the so-called Latina, like Miss Jenny from the block, could call and use the N-word to black people. I'd like to hear from y'all. So leave the comments at the end of this stream. And like always, let it chaos reign.